Okay, Tom messed up.
Why do you have to blame me? I do everything. You sit here with the microphone. Anything that messes up is automatically my fault, and that's true.
So yeah, it just happened. It's fine. We're starting over.
We did like 10 minutes.
Oh my god, it was like all me too. I just talked and talked. Never recorded.
It's a podcast, baby.
Oh my god. All right, so here's my dumb joke that now doesn't matter. I said, finally, we are covering Tom's favorite movie.
Yeah.
But it's not. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I'm Erin.
I'm Tom.
This is Baby's First Watch List. Check. Is it recording?
Yeah, I just checked.
Okay. It's the podcast where the two hosts fight like cats and dogs.
We're starting.
But this time it's about our movie opinions. We don't actually fight like cats and dogs.
No, I don't think we. Yeah.
Unless it's like
it's
Garfield and Odie.
Yeah. Or like Cats and Dogs, the movie.
That is not a good movie. My
No.
sister liked it.
Saw it in theaters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Tinkles was the villain cat.
He was the villain. Who played him?
I don't know.
Probably someone like funny.
That's something I got to find out. Go ahead.
Do you think it was like Rowan Atkinson?
Maybe, but I feel like he's like specifically not known for his voice.
You think it was like Christopher Plummer? Who played Mr. Tinkles?
Who played Mr. Tinkles in
Cats and Dogs?
No.
Which came out around this time.
Sean Hayes.
Oh,
from
Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Okay, not who I expected.
Not quite as, yeah.
This is also like day 20 of my broken foot.
Yeah.
So, as an update to my dear listeners, I got the MRI. I have the CD. I probably could let's put it in the PlayStation later and see if it shows up. Imagine you can play like a game about my MRI.
We'll see.
You're like, how many tendons are broken?
Yeah.
So, this week is like a really pivotal week for television.
It is. We've got Barry is ending, Succession's ending, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel just ended, and Ted Lasso's ending.
And then on Tuesday, we'll find out if
the real cliffhanger we have.
The real
already
cliffhanger
going.
is if my time without a metal screw in my foot will be ending.
Yes.
We'll see.
It's like is Midge Maisel gonna succeed in her life, and is she gonna become friends with Alex Borstein's character again?
Susie.
Is Bill Hader gonna survive? I don't know what the plot of this season of Barry is. I'm still on season 3. Is everybody in England gonna be happy? Is that what Ted Lasso? That's Ted Lasso,
yes,
right?
Believe.
Who's gonna end up with Waystar Royco? And is Erin gonna have a screw in her foot?
For months.
Yeah.
And probably not be able to walk for months.
These are the things we all want to know.
And we will soon find out.
Yeah.
By the next episode, we will know all of these things.
Yeah. Well, I have to read the recaps for the other shows. We only watch Succession.
Yeah, and you'll have to read my MRI as you play the video game.
I said this on the first recording. We're gonna go on Instagram Live and we're gonna have a reveal of Erin's diagnosis. No.
I think it's so tragic. It's so bad. Like literally, I'm still so bruised.
No, it's not as bad. It's not even close.
Anyway, tonight, a late night episode. Yeah. Extra late night because of our first mishap.
Our snafu.
That's totally my fault, not at all Tom's. Because, Tom does all the heavy lifting here. I'm just the on-air talent. Tonight, we are talking about 2000's Miss Congeniality. What a way to start a century. Castaway, Gladiator,
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
and Miss Congeniality.
And
the 4 horsemen of the 21st century.
Oh, man. There was also...
if only they were to know what was to come in the next 23 years.
Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, that's a good...
Meet the Parents.
Not a good one. But, Meet the Parents makes me uncomfortable, to be honest with you.
Dracula 2000.
All classics.
102 Dalmatians. All the big ones.
Tonight, we are only talking about this action comedy.
Yes.
Because that's what we've talked about for the past 15 minutes that we've been on air. Which was directed by Donald Petrie, a director who also did Mystic Pizza, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Grumpy Old Men, and Welcome to Mooseport.
Yeah.
Starring Ray Romano.
Ray Romano, and who else? Who was it?
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman. That's
But like
right.
it was like one of his last roles before his
Yeah.
retirement.
Yeah.
He's my king. He's just like, listen, I'm just gonna live my life.
That cast: Marsha Gay Harden, Maura Tierney, Christine Baranski, Rip Torn.
Okay, kind of slaps.
Kind of a lit cast. We've both seen Mooseport.
Yeah, we're Mooseport heads.
We've been moose pilled.
We know it.
June Squibb's also in it.
Well, if June Squibb is in it,
Yeah.
do you even need anything else?
Yeah, go watch Welcome to Mooseport. Turn this podcast off.
How about watch
Listen to the
Nebraska
podcast first.
instead?
Then watch Nebraska. Then watch Welcome to Mooseport.
Get your June Squibb on.
Yeah, Squibb it.
Squibb it. Miss Congeniality was written by 3 people: Mark Lawrence, Katie Ford, and Karen Lucas. We're only honestly going to talk about Mark Lawrence because the other 2, Well, okay. Karen Lucas doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Katie Ford, she wrote like for some television. She like wrote for Rugrats and stuff, which is kind of
nice.
cool.
That's cool.
And Mark Lawrence did a couple of things that like Hugh Grant and or Sandra Bullock were in. So he did 2 Weeks Notice, which he also directed, I think. And then he did music and lyrics, which I really liked when I saw that back in like 2007. And it's Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Barrymore's great.
And there's like real songs in it, which is cool.
I said the last time, Drew Barrymore. If Drew Barrymore's in it, there's a chance it's good.
Yeah.
She
I
gives
kind
it
of
a
want to
chance.
see some of her stuff that I had. Like, I want to see Fever Pitch
Okay.
with Jimmy Fallon in her. I know you don't like Jimmy Fallon. I'm
Yeah.
not a huge Fallon guy,
I'm a Fallon head.
but I want to give it a shot because I like Drew Barrymore.
Like I said, if Drew Barrymore's in it, there's a chance it's good.
I probably won't see Blended though.
Why?
I'm just not interested.
We got to do Wedding Singer or 51st Dates soon.
Do we need to do all 3?
Yeah, it's the trilogy.
Yeah, okay,
It's Godfather
I kind
1,
of
2,
agree.
and 3.
Okay, and Blended's Godfather 3
Yes.
easily. So the cinematographer Laszlo Kovacs, rest in peace, King, has a particularly impressive resume.
Yeah. They grabbed a prestige guy for this.
Like, it's kind of crazy because he did like Easy Rider,
Yeah.
5 Easy Pieces, Paper Moon, and Ghostbusters. Like, these are like big ones. He did over 70 movies that he shot, and he worked with like tons of prestigious directors.
Yeah. Including Donald Petrie.
Go off, King. Miss Congeniality also has a very impressive cast. It stars Sandra Bullock, Oscar winner. It also features Michael Caine, William Shatner, Candice Bergen, Benjamin Bratt, Ernie Hudson, and I'm going to add Heather Burns in there because even though she's not super duper famous, she was a pretty lead part in this.
Yeah.
Much of the movie
She was in it more than even Candice Bergen
than
or
anybody.
or Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, that is true. The movie was set in New York and in Texas, and it was shot in New York. Weehawken, New Jersey. Where is Weehawken?
North Jersey, right over the Hudson.
Over the Hudson.
Yeah.
Weehawken. Dawn. Oh God. Okay. Can I just tell you guys something? First of all, Tom is obsessed with Hamilton.
Not anymore.
Post obsessed.
Yeah.
Like back in the day.
I think it's an incredibly written musical.
It is. Tom like loves Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No. I wouldn't say loves, but I think
you appreciate Hamilton.
I appreciate him behind the camera.
We
Well,
legit
yeah.
listened to Hamilton like every weekend for like months.
Yeah.
It was so good. And we've seen it twice.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it. It's actually excellent.
Yeah, I mean, I like to go through and sort of like look at like the lyrics and stuff.
What's the best song?
Wait for it's the best song.
I
don't think that's
love doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Anyway,
my
Miss
song.
Congeniality.
Okay. Anyway, so then it also was most of the movie took place in Texas, and even though it was set in San Antonio and they did some shots in San Antonio, it was mostly filmed in Austin. The pageants were actually shot at the University of Texas at Austin.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Which makes me think of Richard Linklater.
I was thinking Linklater.
Right?
When
Because
soon as
he
you
does
said
everything
Texas.
in Texas.
Yeah. He refuses to leave Texas.
Good for him. I would refuse to leave my state because
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
New Jersey, the best state.
Not if my state was Texas.
Oh, wow. Anyway, as far as reception goes, okay, Miss Congeniality, it's like a mixed bag. Like, it's
Tell me.
110 minutes, which is amazing. And it made a ton of money. $212 million on a $45 million budget. Huge success.
212.7. Oh, okay.
On a $45 million budget. Big success. Huge. It actually, though, premiered at number 5 at the box office. It was released right before Christmas in the year 2000. Oscar season.
Yeah, exactly.
And
right alongside What Women Want.
Okay, so people were like, I have Christmas. I can't go to see Miss Congeniality.
It's only going to be 5th.
It's only going to be 5th. But then word of mouth happened and people were like, no, actually, it's amazing. You have to see it. And people were like,
Christmas dinner, the talk of the country was Miss Congeniality.
Miss Congeniality. And they're like, okay, I guess I got to see it. Because guess what? The next week, number 3. Yeah, okay, numbers 1 and 2, we checked, and they were the same. So more people probably talked about Castaway and What Women Want. But you got to give it to Miss Congeniality for that improvement.
Okay, so I'm on Box Office Mojo, and Castaway premiered the same weekend as Miss Congeniality.
Wow, I can't believe they would do that.
What Women Want was down 16%. And then the following week, everything was down.
Oh.
Castaway was down 28%. What Women Want was down 19%. Miss Congeniality was down 7.6%.
That's not that bad, though.
But not back by comparison. How the Grinch Stole Christmas went down 54.1%.
Which kind of makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes. That's a good movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Wow, what a great time for movies.
It did do comparatively better than the other two. But it's not like there was a rush of people to go to see it right afterwards.
Okay, anyway. Miss Congeniality netted a subpar 41% fresh rate. Why are you laughing?
Subpar.
Subpar to my expectations. On Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences at CinemaScore, though. Yeah, it got an A-. Love that. Audiences know what's up. It's like how they say... when you watch, who's they? When you watch when you're looking for a comedy, and you say, okay, well, like, let me check how well it did. You don't look at the popcorn. You don't look at the tomato, because that's the critic score. You look at the popcorn bucket, because that's the audience score. To me, when I'm looking at a comedy, the audience score is much more in line with what I'm looking for.
I'm just telling you that I watched this movie. And I agree with the critics.
Well, Tom's kind of snobby when it comes to critic. Like, he always agrees with critic.
Totally. Absolutely. I loved Avatar.
Yeah. Sandra Bullock, though, did receive a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Music, or Comedy. And Bosson, world famous superstar, Swedish singer Bosson, his song 1 in a Million, which had taken place when they all dressed like Statues of Liberty and did a dance number. You're 1 in a million. And then it's like, bum, bum, bum. Yeah, 1 in a million. Yeah. You know that song?
I listened to it.
Golden Globe nominated, baby. Neither one. And then a sequel, Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous, was released in 2005. Did not do well.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I read the plot summary. Not worth talking about.
Okay. Well, we may do it on the podcast.
What is worth talking about, though, is the plot summary to Miss Congeniality 1.
Not armed. Not
fabulous.
The tagline was unpolished, unkempt, unleashed, undercover.
That's a pretty cool tagline. You know what? Honestly, though, Tom, we're going to do so good on the box office game that we play so we have this game. What is it?
It's Wordly.
Wordle-esque, and it gives you a date. And underneath it has 5 like little things, and each one is the top 5 box office for that day.
Yeah.
And it's a mixed bag.
Today was really hard.
But if we do late December in
2000.
2000,
Castaway, What Women Want, Miss Congeniality,
probably How the Grinch Stole Christmas,
maybe one of
and then
these.
a weird one that no one's
Meet
ever
the
heard
Parents.
of. Oh, and Meet the Parents.
I don't think it was, but
Oh.
it's sort of
Something
around
like
there.
that. So we're gonna do good on that one.
Hopefully it didn't happen already.
Yeah, exactly. So give us Miss Congeniality plot summary.
Okay. So, in 1982, a young Gracie Hart steps into a playground fight to beat up a bully who is threatening a boy she likes. However, the boy feels humiliated at being rescued by a girl and rejects her rudely. In response, Gracie punches him in the nose, and she leaves to sulk alone. And that's the end of our prologue.
Very short prologue.
Very short prologue. Years later, Gracie, played by Sandra Bullock, is now a tough special agent for the FBI. During a sting operation against Russian mobsters, she disobeys her superior's orders in order to save a mob boss who appears to be choking, which causes one of the other agents to be shot.
He lives.
As punishment, FBI Assistant Director Harry McDonald, played by Ghostbusters legend Ernie Hudson.
Oh my God! Also shot
By Laszlo.
Yeah, in cinematography world.
Yep. McDonald demotes Gracie to a desk job as punishment, which I was like, oh, she's definitely going to get a desk job. And he was like, all right, you're doing a desk job. Soon after, the agency is alerted via a letter from the notorious domestic terrorist known only as the Citizen to a bomb threat at the upcoming 75th annual Miss United States beauty pageant in San Antonio, Texas.
She's beauty and she's grace. She's Miss United States. You know, I knew that song still. And do you know what other song I know?
1 in a Million?
No. The Genovia theme song
Okay.
from Princess Diaries,
Yeah.
which we need to do soon.
Oh, well, at some point. We actually didn't figure out what we're doing next week now that I think about it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Gracie's partner, Eric Matthews, played by Benjamin Bratt, is put in charge, and he relies on Gracie's suggestions only to take credit for them himself.
Tom hates this guy.
Oh, I think he's one of the worst characters ever, maybe. One of Gracie's ideas is to plant an agent undercover at the event and reach the top 5, which was like rigged for them, right? I think it was originally supposed to be. So they have access to everything in the pageant. When all possible candidates are deemed unfit, Eric suggests that Gracie take on that role, replacing Miss New Jersey, who was to be disqualified. Beauty pageant coach Victor Melling, played by Michael Caine, teaches Gracie how to dress, walk, and behave like a contestant.
He's so great.
Although she's initially appalled, Gracie comes to appreciate Victor's thoroughness. Gracie enters the pageant as Gracie Lou Freebush, representing
the great state of New Jersey,
the Garden State.
The Garden State, New Jersey.
That's like, whatever. And Gracie becomes friends with Cheryl Fraser, played by Heather Burns.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write it down. Who is Miss Rhode Island.
Another great state.
As the competition begins, Gracie impresses the judges during the talent competition with her glass harp skills and self-defense techniques. Several suspects are identified, including the current competition director and former pageant winner Kathy Morningside, played by Candice Bergen, her assistant Frank Tobin, whose actor I didn't write down, the veteran MC Stan Fields, played by William Shatner, and the aforementioned Cheryl, who has a history of being a radical animal rights activist. Gracie accompanies Cheryl and other contestants as they spend a night partying and eating pizza. She tries to dig into Cheryl's past, but she inadvertently learns from the others that Kathy's past as a pageant contestant is suspect because she won after the leading contestant suddenly came down with food poisoning.
Which, that doesn't really make sense to me.
Okay.
Like, okay, food poisoning.
This movie?
You can still win.
Yeah, you can. I don't know. Gracie comes to believe that Kathy is a citizen copycat. When she reports this to Eric and the team, she learns that the citizen has been arrested on an unrelated charge. And because there is no further threat, their supervisor has pulled the mission. Gracie insists that something is wrong, but Eric and the team leave her there by herself, unconvinced. While on their way home, Victor informs Eric that Frank, Kathy's assistant, is actually her son, who has committed many crimes, a fact that they tried to hide from the FBI. Mm-hmm. Eric, therefore, thus, returns to Texas to help Gracie continue the investigation against the orders of his superior officer. In the final round, Gracie is stunned when she is named first runner-up. Cheryl, Miss Rhode Island, is named Miss United States, but as she goes to accept the tiara, Gracie realizes that Frank impersonated the citizen to make the pageant bomb threat, and that the bomb is in the tiara.
Yeah.
Gracie fights Cheryl for the tiara as Eric wrestles with Frank, who is about to detonate the bomb. Finally, Gracie manages to throw the tiara up at the stage scenery where it explodes and sets the Statue of Liberty stage on fire. As Kathy and Frank are arrested, Gracie determines that the two wanted to kill the pageant winner on stage as revenge for Kathy's termination from the Miss United States organization. Afterwards, Eric asks Gracie out on a date and they kiss. Soon after, Eric and Victor trick Gracie into attending the pageant's farewell breakfast where the new Miss United States, Cheryl, names Gracie Miss Congeniality. Miss Congeniality. Film.
Oh,
Finn.
That's so good.
Finn.
You missed like
A lot.
of like Miss Congeniality
Jokes.
stuff. Jokes.
Yeah.
Pageantry.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
1 in a Million by Bussin.
Boss on.
Okay, so let's do this, Tom. Do you want to go first because you have no questions?
Do we mean do I want to go first?
Like, tell about your. Oh, it's probably mean your
What?
discussion points.
I'll
go first.
You go first. I'll pop it. Well, the first thing I wrote with the mobster scene, I was like, this movie's aesthetic is Cold War chic. It's a very dated thing to be
It
doing.
was from 2000, Tom.
The Cold War ended in 1989.
We all remember. Okay, so the first thing, like, all right, they show the citizen. You don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And he's like writing a letter, but there's all these like spaces and stuff in it. And it really reminded
Was it like a
me,
ransom letter, you mean?
Sort of. Yeah. And the way it was written reminded me when I was in college as an English education major. We sometimes got kind of unique things that we could, as teachers, later on do. And one of the things that I had, for some reason, like multiple times, teacher or professors thought this was like the best idea ever, is it's called like blackout poetry. So you get a newspaper and then you just start like sharpieing lines and words so that what's left, you black out most of the words and then the rest becomes a poem.
Oh, I know. I can
You know
picture
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
But like as someone,
They thought that you came up with the idea and they thought it was good? Is that what you said?
No. I was told that this was like a cool activity to do.
Oh, yes. I gotcha.
But like
with kids.
Yeah, but outside of like creative writing class, like it has nothing to do with like kids learning anything.
No, it's honestly more appropriate for like an art class.
Yeah, totally. So I don't know why I was taught that multiple times in college. It was like, this is a great idea. And it's like, this has nothing to do with
State
learning.
school, baby. I'm just kidding.
I went to a great college.
Yeah.
Education.
We went to the same great college.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so here's the thing. I know that this wasn't your favorite movie.
Oh, well,
But-
it's up there.
I want to know, out of everyone, do you think was the best casting in this movie? Because there, I think, are some roles that were really well cast.
Well, I don't like the character, and I also don't particularly like the actress, but Sandra Bullock is good casting in this movie.
Excellent.
I will give her credit. I didn't like her in the beginning, and I started to like her towards the end.
Love that.
But the best casting in the movie, I mean, it has to be Michael Caine, right?
I was thinking,
Or is he the
Michael
best?
Caine.
Or is he just the best performance?
Best casting is William Shatner.
Yeah, it's the MC.
It's the best.
Yeah,
He's so like
that is a perfect
perfect.
role for him. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's who I'm going with. Although I think the casting overall was so good. Candice Bergen's really well cast.
Candice Bergen. Yeah.
So what's wrong with the movie? Nothing. It's perfect.
Benjamin Bratt's character.
Okay, but Benjamin Bratt's gorgeous.
That's the only reason he's presented as a likable person in this
He's
movie.
1 in a million.
Can I have the floor?
What, to talk about Benjamin Bratt?
Yeah. Or I'll do it later.
No, go for it.
I like Benjamin Bratt.
Oh, do you?
I do.
From one movie?
Ernesto de la Cruz.
Yeah.
He was also not just from one movie. Well, not from this.
As Tom looks up his Wikipedia.
Yeah, no, there were other movies that I've seen him in.
Okay.
I think.
Like what?
Oh, I've seen him in Demolition Man.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Demolition Man?
Yeah.
Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Doctor Strange. I've seen him and stuff. He's good. He's a good actor. He was. I wouldn't say the performance is necessarily
I think the performance
his fault
was good.
in this movie. I think it's a horrendously written character. This guy is in. He's a real piece of work. First of all, he would not stand up in the Me Too era.
No, not at all. That's for sure.
For sure. They frame him obviously as the romantic interest.
Yeah.
He doesn't stick his neck out for her one time.
I do agree with you on that.
Well, first of all, he's stealing all of her research.
Yeah.
He's mean to her.
Yeah.
He makes fun of her. I know it's like supposedly, that's like
flirting,
like
and that's
Arnold Helga situation.
Arnold Helga.
But like, and it's like, oh, I get it. She's a little bit gruffer. Like she's a special agent, so she's a little bit rougher on the edges. But not only that, when it comes down to it, if they wanted to frame him as a good person who, despite all of his jerk tendencies, actually cared about her, when she's saying, no, let me stay here because I think that something else is going to happen after they arrest the citizen, he would have been like to Ernie Hudson, like, I'll stay here with her.
Yeah.
I think she's right. She's trusting her instincts. Instead, he was like, no, I'm out.
And it took Michael Caine being like, no, like, actually, this guy's really bad, for him to be like,
yeah, he'll listen to the guy, but he won't listen to the woman.
Oh, wow.
Benjamin Bratt's character, Eric, he's a misogynistic sexual harasser. He's a terrible, terrible character.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but he's cute.
That's again, if he looked like a normal dude, you would be like, this character is awful.
Yeah, I definitely would be.
But he doesn't. So
no, he doesn't. So there you go.
Great casting for Ernesto de la Cruz, though.
What a great movie Coco was. Okay, so if you think of pageants, like a Miss America or Miss USA, is there a state that you think like, oh, they're a shoo-in?
Well, I think you got your big ones, your California, your Texas.
That's exactly. I think California, Texas, New York.
Yeah.
That's what I think of too. What state would you want to be from if you were in the Miss United States pageant?
I'm assuming excluding New Jersey.
You can't be New Jersey.
What state would I want to be? Something like New England would be nice. I like Rhode Island. Rhode Island would be a good one. We like Rhode Island.
Because then you win.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be Rhode Island because I win. Either that or like, I don't know, like Delaware. I like the Mid-Atlantic.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to Delaware, actually. What about Louisiana?
Okay, why?
New Orleans. I would talk in like a French accent the whole time.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's
I'd be like,
very interesting.
A world peace.
World peace. Oui.
What would you pick?
Like Wyoming.
Why?
Because I'm the only person there.
Yeah. Because it would be an easy.
Me and Kanye West there in Wyoming, like, who's gonna be it this year?
And our Yellowstone tour guide.
He was really nice.
He was great. I have his card in my wallet.
He takes beautiful photographs.
Yeah, he hasn't been active on Instagram as of late. I checked him not too long ago.
Hopefully he's doing all right.
Yeah.
Or Montana, because I really like that pancake house we went to there.
Yeah, there was also good barbecue there.
There you go. Perfect. I actually would not want to be.
Yes, I understand.
Either one.
Yes, I know.
I would probably also pick something like Massachusetts.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, what would your talent be for the talent portion?
Producing a podcast, first of all. Am I right?
I'll give you my answers.
Sure.
Number 1, I would consider for my talent.
Just double jointed thumbs.
I don't have those. Dang it, you have those?
No, I don't.
Oh. Number 1, I would do. I can identify a song within the first couple of beats.
I'm not good at that.
And I am good at that,
Yeah.
aren't I? At trivia, at
Hurdle.
When I used to do Hurdle.
Yeah.
Trivia, I'm like, oh, that's blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's from An Officer and a Gentleman. How do I know that?
You've never seen that movie, I
Never
assume.
ever. Number 2, another talent is if you name a movie, can tell you probably what the poster looks like.
Yeah, you do have that.
Mm-hmm. Number 3.
So how would that work? Let's tease this out a little bit. If let's say that was your talent, would you like have them put the poster behind you and you face out and you're like, oh, the poster for Idiocracy is like a white background, or is it a yellow background?
Okay,
and he's like,
you picked a really bad movie
not
for me
not
I
one
don't
that
remember.
you would know. So like the poster for The Godfather would be like it's black, and then there's like the silhouette of Marlon Brando like looking downcast.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, and then you're like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But actually what I would do is
But
I would have...
What's the one movie that you say that you know?
The Banger
The
Sisters.
Banger Sisters.
I also really am good at remembering the poster for the movie Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, I got that one too. Yeah,
You know
it's
that
like his
one?
face is different. Like right.
Joe versus the Volcano is another movie that I
Yeah.
have like in my brain. The Butterfly Effect
Yep.
is
Ashton
one which
Kutcher.
we just talked about yesterday.
Joe versus the Volcano. That's the same director of who did Doubt.
Yeah, which is like wild. Yeah, I know that
I
poster
just thought about him the other
very,
day.
very well. So yeah, there's some posters that are like that for me. And then number 3, I would probably just like eat a lot of Doritos.
Okay.
So
Oh.
those are my talents.
Like a lot of Doritos.
Yeah.
That would be the talent. You can't just eat some Doritos. You got to eat a lot of Doritos for it to be a talent.
Like
Yeah, I could go through a whole like big bag of
easy.
Doritos. Yeah,
Like
no doubt.
light work.
No doubt. No doubt. You want to challenge me? Maybe throw me some Cool Ranch. I'm not the biggest Cool Ranch guy.
Me either. I prefer nacho cheese. I know you like spicy nacho.
I'm nacho
can't
cheese.
handle it.
Nacho cheese is good.
About 3D Doritos.
Spicy sweet chili one is good too. Is that what it is? Spicy sweet chili?
The purple bag?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's a good one too.
I just do plain.
I don't
like
know
the
if I
red
could.
bag,
I don't know if I
period.
could. I don't know if I could do a whole bag of spicy sweet chili, but I could do spicy nacho or reg.
Turn up.
Yeah, for sure.
What would your talent be?
Spicy nacho Doritos? No.
Also, my other talent is I can be really nice. Is that a talent?
Yeah.
Bring someone up, I'll compliment them
Sure.
and make them feel good and like
Sure.
have a combo.
Okay.
Not a combo. I can also eat a lot
We
of
can
combos.
eat bags of combos. Yes. Yes. I don't know if I have talents.
Tom, you have so many talents.
Like what?
You're really tall.
Okay, I could do that. I can walk like really long like strides.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. I can squat with our baby on my shoulders.
That's a pretty good one.
Although I did like 6 today and my knees are barking. I don't know. I can read
you
pretty
can be the best husband.
I can read pretty fast.
Yeah.
But I'm not a speed reader, so I don't know if it's a talent.
It's a talent because you believe in yourself.
I would do it out loud. Like- And
next page.
I would read like the first chapter of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone,
Okay, like
and I would just do it really fast.
how about you just have like a nice calming demeanor? You
I
just
just-
stand there and just like everyone's like, wait, I feel.
I just have a really
calm
disarming
now.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, those are my talents.
While being like really tall, which
Yeah.
you would think like, oh, that would be a little like, oh, he's tall, but he's like, wait, he's really comforting.
I tend to subvert people's expectations.
Love that. That's a great talent.
April disagrees, apparently.
Anyway, you would probably get first. You're definitely gonna win.
Is this you being nice? Is that the talent?
Oh, did that work?
Ah, I'm gonna lose.
Okay, so I made a mistake.
Okay.
So
did I when I watched this movie. I'm just kidding.
When I was watching, I typed in, "Is She's a Lady one of the best songs ever written? OMG, and Dancing Queen? Is this like an amazing soundtrack?" Okay, I looked it up. Turns out I made a mistake. She's a Lady was like some random remix. Dancing Queen was the 18th
Yeah.
version.
Yeah. Of course.
And then like
Do you not know the ABBA version?
like the Baha Men were in the soundtrack.
It's 2000.
It was like nobody else I heard of. And then I'm
What
like,
Baha Men song?
one I'd never heard of.
Well, I mean, that's all of them except for one.
No, Kaylee did a dance to one once.
There was another one.
Yeah.
There was another one. I forgot what it was called though.
It's like the
I had their
something
CD.
with Move. No,
I had their CD.
it's something with Move, I think, in it.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, cool. But there's the Mustang Sally, the Commitments. Mustang Sally's on the thing.
That's in my trivia.
But then I saw on the article I read, they said Los Lobos' cover of Mustang Sally. I was like, Los Lobos? So I'm just...
One of my trivia's thing is it's really just for you because I don't know if anybody's watched The Commitments, but we haven't even watched it. But I read the book.
I've watched it.
Oh, I haven't watched it, but I've read the book. And apparently, there are 2 movies that feature songs from The Commitments in it. The Commitments and this movie.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
No other movie has ever used any of the Commitment songs.
So maybe it is the best soundtrack ever made besides The Commitments, which is an amazing movie. Anyway. Okay, so you mentioned, I have 2 more questions for you. You mentioned that like by the end you kind of liked Sandra Bullock. You're not a big Sandy Bullock fan.
I'm not.
I want to challenge you here. What's Sandra Bullock's worst role that you've seen?
Okay.
And what is what in your opinion is her best performance?
I mean, best is easiest. Best is
Gravity.
easy. No, Speed.
Oh, Speed.
Speed is her best role.
That is a great movie.
Gravity's not a bad one. I
thought you were gonna say Gravity.
I liked Gravity more than I expected to.
I did too because it's space, and as everybody knows, space is not my thing.
Also, I just love Clooney. Also, so
yeah, and you're like, oh, he's like barely in it. No, he's actually in it more than you think he is.
Actually, you know what her worst role might be?
Blindside.
I haven't seen Blindside, so I can't.
It's okay.
I can't judge that.
I think she does a good performance.
Crash.
Oh, that movie's so bad.
Crash. But again, I don't know if I can hold that. I mean, I can hold that against her for taking the role because the movie. Come on.
Very unlikable in it, but that's the point.
Very unlikable.
So,
who is her husband again?
Is it Dylan? Matt Dillon?
Is it Matt Dillon?
Who
also
was actually up for the role of the Eric role.
Yeah. Also, she was in Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Do you know what Demolition Man is?
Is that the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
No, that's The Running Man.
Oh.
Demolition Man is 1993, and it's Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes.
Close enough.
And it's great. I watched it with Mike V.
Of course.
Yeah, it's awesome. We should watch it.
What about The Proposal?
I don't like that movie.
Oh, okay. Well, bye.
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
It is.
Yeah. I'm not a huge. Oh man, she's been in some bad movies.
Yeah, don't you love it?
Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
Oh, that was really bad.
She was the mom, right?
That was an awful movie.
That is in the strong running for one of the worst
movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Up there with Crash, to be honest. The thing with Crash, though, is Crash is really bad, but it feels like he meant well. He's just not the person to tell the story.
Yeah.
And he's very bad at telling it, Paul Haggis.
Yeah.
But I feel like he wanted to tell a story that had a positive message.
Yeah, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, on the other hand.
Horrible.
Just an awful movie.
Horrible. Top to bottom, it very well could be the worst movie I've ever seen.
I just
because there's movies that are like beloved that I just don't like. Like I don't like Tree of Life, but I can understand why people like it. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close is horrendous. It's got a great cast.
Yes, but I don't want to be mean. But the lead, they chose
he shouldn't have been cast.
A non-actor who was just on like a kids Jeopardy tournament.
Yeah, I'm okay with choosing non-actors.
Yeah, but he wasn't meant for that.
Right.
It was just really bad.
So I'm gonna say that my favorite Sandra Bullock role is Speed.
Yeah.
Speed is great.
It's great.
I have nothing bad to say about Speed except that it's a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's
but
perfect.
Between Keanu, her,
Alan Ruck, baby.
You know who's the bad guy?
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah. It's great.
Speed rocks.
Speed rules. And her worst roles got to be Crash and Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. But then again, I mean I haven't seen a lot of her filmography. I haven't seen Miss Congeniality 2.
Armed and Fabulous.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Oh no, what is All About Steve?
Oh yeah, okay. So All About Steve is her and Bradley Cooper, and she plays this like
and
quirky
Thomas
girl.
Church.
Not good. Not good.
Winner of 2 Razzies and has a 6% approval rating of Rotten Tomatoes.
That's right.
So again, I just I haven't seen the right ones. Bird Box I didn't see.
People love that.
I feel like we were the only people on Earth that didn't see Bird Box.
Seriously.
Ocean's 8. She was in.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
She was in The Heat, which I didn't see.
Oh, I liked that.
I'm not a Mel Mac head.
I liked that one.
In the comedy sphere.
The Heat was actually very funny.
Yeah. I feel like it spawned a bunch of movies like that after that.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of her like bad ones other than the 2 that I named. But those are definitely the 2 worst.
That's a very thoughtful answer, Tom. Thank you.
Even though I just thought of it on the spot.
My last question is this.
She was also on 3 episodes of the George Lopez Show, which I didn't know.
George Lopez Show. The show whose theme song blasts after you fall asleep after watching Nick at Night all night.
Yeah. She was Accident Amy.
Okay. Okay, so my last question.
And she was an executive producer of the George Lopez Show.
That's interesting.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So for my last question, April 25th is a very important date. Every April 25th, people call it like Miss Congeniality Day.
Yeah.
Do you remember why?
It's something to do with like, it's not too warm, it's not too cold. All you need is a light jacket.
That's like exactly the quote.
Yeah.
Miss Rhode Island, Cheryl, is asked, what is your perfect date?
Right.
And she says, my perfect date will be April 25th. Not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket, which is an amazing answer.
It is an amazing answer. I will give her that. That's why she won, to be honest.
Gotta be why she won. Either that or the flaming baton throwing that she did, which is
Yeah,
pretty
one of the
cool.
two.
I want 2 separate answers on what your perfect date is. Date on the calendar and your perfect romantic date.
My perfect date on the calendar, I think she's right. I'm not going to say specifically April 25th, but I'm going to say that first day of spring when it's like, even if it's like pre-spring, you know, even if it's like the false spring.
And it's still like 65 degrees, but everyone's in sundresses.
Yes, and everybody's in shorts. Yeah. I'm thinking of like the college days. Like
Always.
everybody would be out on Alumni Grove
Mm-hmm.
and all that. Yeah, no, it's got to be that. I mean, there's nothing. What are you going to say? Freaking December 1st? Or what, we're never going to get snow again. But I was going to say like in the middle of a blizzard.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't. I mean, it's either that. To me, it's either the beginning of spring or the first like fall day.
Crisp fall day in October.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Halloween.
Oh, that's nice.
Halloween, like the movie.
You know that feeling like, ooh, nice and cozy.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And then, I mean, a movie is obviously my preferred date. I mean, dinner and a movie, it's the best ever. Everybody does it.
What kind of dinner?
Something cheap. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Well, I mean, ideally it would be something like a Mistral, which is a place that we go to that's like a really nice restaurant that we go to for like events.
And then we go to Princeton Garden.
Yeah. That's my favorite theater.
So romantic.
Because it's like the indie theater that only one I've ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the one that we went to in Seattle.
Yeah.
Which we saw Spy.
Yeah. I like
Melissa
that movie.
McCarthy.
Jason Statham, man.
They were serving alcohol in front, so yeah. But yeah, no, that's mine. What are yours?
Okay, so I agree with you with the actual dates. Calendar dates. I think that first day of spring and first day of fall, like the first breath. Okay, so yeah, like even just like mid-May, and there's just a nice slight breeze, and it's like 72, 71 out, and like it's sunny, but like there's perfect little puffy clouds. Oh my God, heaven. Love that. Or yeah, October, and it's like a Saturday in October,
and like the heat's finally breaking,
and you wake up and it's like you put your feet on the ground,
crunchy leaf,
which I can only do with one of my feet
currently,
and like you're on the hardwood and it's like slightly chilly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah. When the leaves crunching, obviously, are a classic.
And then you're like, wait, why are leaves crunching under my feet? I'm inside.
Yeah, exactly.
And then perfect date. Anytime I'm with you. No.
No?
Yes. Okay, so my perfect date. I don't know. What's a date?
I don't know.
Now we don't have dates.
We haven't been dating in 13 years.
Okay, so my perfect date is your
mom makes lasagna.
That was our first date.
On her birthday.
On her birthday.
You made her make it.
No, that was not on her birthday. That was May 15th, our first date.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yes.
Yeah, my mom makes us lasagna and we watch the movie Airplane.
Yeah.
At my house.
Yeah.
And then you meet my entire family.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then you're like, yeah, I guess I'll just do this for the rest of my life.
Sure, I guess.
No, okay, here's my perfect date.
We hung out with your parents all day today.
And we're gonna guess what we're doing tomorrow too. Okay, no, my perfect date. Okay, ready? So it's early. It's like for a date, it's a little early. It's kind of like, are you serious? It's like 9:45
in the morning.
Yeah, and you're like, come on into my car, and I'm like, okay. So then we drive, and we end up at this really nice coffee shop, and we just get coffee, and they have this really cool iced latte, and it's like a really good flavor. I've never.
But you don't know what the flavor is.
They come up with it. I don't know. And so I'm like, this is such a cute little town. And then there's an indie bookstore, and we go in, and there's so many good books, and they have the little things where it's this person recommends,
right?
And they tell you the reason and stuff. And then they have blind date with a book where they cover books in paper, and you're like, this is so cute. And then you buy one book because you have to.
You got to buy a book.
You have to support it. And so then you're walking, you're like, there's so many cute like shops and restaurants and stuff. Oh my God, look at this sandwich shop. And then we go in the sandwich shop and they have a sandwich with brie. Brie cheese.
Yeah.
And so I get it and I'm like, this is delicious. And then I'm like, this is a nice date. That is probably my favorite date.
Okay.
No, we haven't done
never
that.
done that. So I don't know what that says, but
I like put all of our like good dates together.
okay.
We've done all of these things.
You've had brie sandwiches, yes.
More than a few times.
Oh man.
Those are all my questions.
Okay.
I think that was a really good segment.
Yeah. Sure.
Tom's dinner and a movie. I'm like, first of all, you picked me up at 9:47 a.m. in your good Dodge Camaro.
No, try again.
What's a Camaro?
Chevy.
And what's a Dodge?
A lot of things.
What's the big?
I don't have
fancy,
either
like,
of them. I mean, there's a bunch of those.
Charger?
Camaro would be one of them. Dodge, Charger, Challenger. Yeah.
Any of those.
Shout out Kathy Langle.
Oh my God, my grandma had one.
Yep.
Yep.
What's your favorite quote in this movie? Is it the best date?
It is.
The only one I wrote down was I forgot the Alamo.
That was.
It was like that random guy.
I'm sorry. I think this movie's funny. You didn't. I really did.
I didn't. I thought there were some funny parts to it, but I wouldn't call it a funny movie.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the one guy goes. They were talking about San Antonio, and the one guy goes, "Home of the Alamo," and then the other guy goes,
"I forgot the Alamo."
I forgot the Alamo.
That is clever.
It's good stuff. It caught me off guard. So okay, here's some of my discussion.
I'm like already crying.
I wrote, "This is a full-length version of the makeover scene in Breakfast Club."
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
And I said, "It's dumb there and it's dumb here."
Not like, yeah, I understand, but I don't care.
Like when she comes out and Eric's like, huh, "Whoa." It's like
Mustang Sally.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, man.
And then she trips, of course.
Come on. Well, okay. I also hated
that she tripped 75 times.
Oh, tripping, the snorting. Like it's like, okay, pick one.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
Like
do it once.
We got it the 40th time you were snorting.
Oh my God. Okay, do you know what I don't love that doesn't really hold up super well?
When she holds the gun to Michael Caine's head.
That's not great. Because he wouldn't give her a donut.
Yes. Yeah, like come on, it's
actually kind of related.
The whole movie is just a low-hanging fruit joke.
So what I don't like is that it's very much so like, wait, she's beautiful and she eats pizza?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
It's like, she has to convince all of the girls to take a bite of pizza, and they finally do, and it's like, oh my God.
And they love the pizza.
Yeah, but they can't eat the pizza. It's like, okay, we get it.
Also, the idea that Sandra Bullock isn't gorgeous.
I know. Her hair was like a little frizzy. Like at the beginning, her bad hair was like the best hair day I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Like if I ever looked like her in the beginning of the movie, I would be like, well, I'm done here.
She's a movie star.
Yeah.
She's a star.
Yeah.
She's a movie star. She's gorgeous. She's
Yeah.
Like a model. She looks like a model.
Yeah.
Like, and the whole beginning of the movie, you're like,
it's like, oh my God, she's so ugly.
Oh, she's hideous. Oh my God, they're looking at her with the bathing suit on the thing that they mock up on the computer.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you wouldn't ever look like that.
And then they're like, wait, whoa, she actually looks really good. It's like, okay.
Listen, I have no problem suspending disbelief. I have no problem with stupid movies. I have no problem with bad movies. This movie just didn't hit any of those for me, like the sweet spots for me.
Mm-hmm.
I also wrote, there are 2 consecutive pizza scenes, right? Because there's the one where they're in the
Are you
at the
gonna
hotel,
say the pizza looks so bad?
and then there's the one where they're at the bar.
Yeah.
The pizza is in the running for the worst looking food I've ever seen in a movie.
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
It looks cold. I don't have a better word to describe it other than it looks like when you eat cold pizza.
Congealed.
I guess, yeah. It looks like hard.
Also, like, there's like a lot of random toppings on it. Like, nobody eats a pizza with like one piece of bell pepper and one single olive and one mushroom and one pepperoni.
Yeah. I also said Michael Caine is better than this movie.
He's not because the movie's perfect.
Morningside is like the old lady who was the runner-up in like 1985 at Eurovision or whatever.
Yes.
Remember she came out?
Yes.
And then she came out as if she was a past winner.
Yeah, and she came in second. It's like, what?
They had this whole big production, and it was like, she's back. And like,
it was like Darcy or whatever her name was.
Yeah. And then for the UK, because it was in Liverpool, and she came out and she did her song and, you know, whatever, but she didn't win. It's not like it was
we found out she actually lost.
And the one who she lost to gave the points for Ireland.
Neva.
She gave the points for Ireland.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I'm glad to see my friend out there after all these years.
She's like, girl, I won.
She's like, I would never be caught doing this.
Like, are you joking? Also, I will never be caught doing this because Ireland never makes the finals anymore.
Yeah. I also wrote that Morningside is like a Scooby-Doo villain.
It's a great name, though.
It is. I mean, yeah. But is that not...
Gloria Morningside?
Kathy Morningside.
What a name.
But she is like a Scooby-Doo villain. It's like, oh, who's the killer? Who's the killer? And then they pull off the mask at the end and it's her.
Although, like, I gotta say, it's kind of obvious, right?
Yeah, well, you asked me, I didn't know who it was, and I guessed Shatner, so I was like, I was right there. But it makes perfect sense. And then the second that they were like, oh, she might get fired, I was like, oh, well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also that random, like, evil plotting scene with her and the son
Frank.
when she was putting the letter together. Why?
For fun.
It was just, I don't know. The whole movie just didn't really make sense to me.
Well, you know what?
Waiting.
I just like it. Sorry.
That's fine. I don't.
But you know what? Like, I like it, so goodbye.
Okay, so here's my trivia. Cheryl's answer to the question, what is your idea of a perfect date, was actually used as an answer in a real beauty pageant.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the information that I was given.
Okay.
I read an article.
Who was it from? Was it from like an actual site or?
Yeah, it was Wikipedia cited it, and so I clicked on it.
Because IMDb, I just say what's on IMDb. I don't know if any of it's true.
All right, so ready? I had an article, and it was the director, Petrie, interviewed, and he said that he asked Mark Lawrence, the writer, if he could make it April 29th because that's his wife's birthday.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not that, but it's the too hot, too cold.
You're going to have to contact IMDb about that fact.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to roll with it. We don't really do that type of research here. At the opening premiere of the movie, when Sandra Bullock got out of her car, she actually did trip and fall. And they thought that she staged it, but she didn't.
That's funny.
In the control booth at the Miss United States pageant, a visible sign in the background has a Canadian maple leaf in the middle of a red circle with a red slash through it. And it's an inside joke about how many movies are made in Canada because of the lower production costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only movie other than The Commitments to feature a song by the fake Irish soul band The Commitments on its soundtrack.
Mustang Sally. At what point is it not a fake band? Because, like, they tour and stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're right?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder.
Casting, Matt Dillon was originally cast as Eric.
Hugh Jackman also, I think, like,
he was in the running.
In the running, too.
This was Candice Bergen's first role in a theatrical film in 15 years.
Wild.
So that to me, if I had known that, is a Stellan Skarsgård thing. It's like, why is Candice Bergen in this movie?
Totally.
Because she hasn't been in a movie in 15 years. She's got to be the villain.
Totally.
But I didn't know that before I watched it. And I have one more. In the preliminary talent competition scene in front of the Alamo, that whole big like concert thing, the guy playing bass in the backup band is a director from Austin, Robert Rodriguez.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, another fun fact too. Miss Nebraska, who made I think top 5,
Yeah.
but like had no lines or whatever, she ended up becoming a Real Housewives of Dallas.
Nice.
Yeah. Leanne Locken.
Yeah. Ebert.
Ooh,
How many stars out of 4?
2?
2.
Yeah.
I only have a couple little quotes here. He says, "Something about Sandra Bullock strikes me the right way. She has a warmth that gets you smiling even when the material is weak, as it sometimes is since she has uncertain luck in choosing projects. In Miss Congeniality, she makes her way through a screenplay that in other hands would have been a dreary sitcom mishmash, and her presence transforms it into a less dreary sitcom mishmash."
There you go.
He goes on, he describes the premise, and he goes, "But there are some funny scenes as Michael Caine, a disgraced but still brilliant beauty consultant, supervises her makeover and teaches her how to dress less like a model for LL Bean campwear. The plot also involves Candice Bergen as the founder of the beauty pageant and Benjamin Bratt as Bullock's FBI partner. No prizes for figuring out that Bergen is up to more than she seems, and after Bullock's transformation, the scales fall from Bratt's eyes, and he realizes, gosh, she cleans up real well. And he ends by saying, Miss Congeniality is harmless fun of a silly sort. It isn't bad so much as it lacks any ambition to be more than it so obviously is. I smiled during it and enjoyed Bullock, but then again, I got to see it for free, and I'm the guy who thinks Speed 2 Cruise Control is a good movie, something that not even Bullock believes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you know.
It's Ebert.
Yeah, it's Raj. Yeah, so I think that's all I've got. I don't know if I mean, the movie is what it is. I don't really have any.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a movie. It was put on film and it was released 23 years ago, almost.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
No.
Nothing else?
No.
Nothing else on Miss Congeniality? Your favorite movie?
It's not my favorite movie, but I love it. And you know what? I think that a lot of other people love it too.
Oh no, listen. I'm okay with being the baby's first watch list villain.
He's
I'm
a
fine
downer.
I'm fine with that.
Total downer.
I'm fine with that. I've done it on the High School Musical episode. I did it a little bit in Mamma Mia, but not that much.
You were nice. But that's probably because my mom was here.
Yeah, it is. No, I like Mamma Mia a lot more than I like this movie. There've been a couple where I've been less than.
You were
enthused.
like this with My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah, I was like it with Avatar.
Okay, but that's
Turns out, wow, do I hate all these movies? No, I'm just kidding. But you know, it is what it is. What it does, Miss Congeniality make baby's first watch list?
yeah.
Are you gonna ask me?
Yeah, does it?
Yeah, of course. If you've tuned in to episode 49, you know that every single one of these movies makes it.
That's right.
I'm big on letting my son figure out what he likes and what he doesn't like.
Beautiful.
I'm not going to tell him not to watch this movie.
That's great.
Even if I don't watch it with him.
I'll watch it.
Any takeaways?
My takeaway is this.
Okay, so for those of you who, again, are maybe new or whatever, we try to do some takeaways for our child that we would like to impart some wisdom, you know, sort of lessons you can take away from the movie. And Erin's always thoughtful.
Here's my takeaway. You know what? New Jersey is always like
runner-up?
people. Yeah, people always hate on New Jersey. We never make it, but guess what? We still persevere.
Wow.
And we win Miss Congeniality.
And Danny DeVito's from here.
So we win. That's my takeaway.
I've got two.
Okay.
This is one, what I'm about to say. Don't harass people.
That's good. Love
And
that.
Definitely don't harass people at work.
That's very important. Yes.
And two, it's okay if you lose a job. You're probably going to lose a job at some point for one reason or another. You don't need to get revenge.
That's very good.
Don't need to do it.
Beautiful.
That's that. Next week. Well, okay, so this was Miss Congeniality. You heard it. You loved it.
Yeah.
Next week, we don't know.
Well, here's the thing. We don't know because there's factors.
I would say right now, we don't know what's going on with Erin's foot.
It's so embarrassing. I just keep talking about my foot.
But we still do plan to have an episode next week. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Keep an eye on Instagram. The following week, we're going to do a Father's Day episode with your dad. We got to figure that out.
I'll talk to him about
I mean, we've talked about doing Rocky, but it's not set in stone yet. And then after that, we're going to do a different episode. We're going to do our 1-year anniversary of the podcast. We're going to do like a Q&A type situation. So stay tuned to the Instagram because we're going to have you ask some questions if you want.
I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We'll have a retrospective of the year, like the 2 times I got surgery.
Yeah.
The time that I gave birth.
Favorite time you watched Miss Congeniality.
Favorite time I watched Miss Congeniality. Favorite time I got COVID.
Yeah.
Favorite time I had to give a eulogy.
Yeah.
It's been quite a year.
Yeah.
It's so interesting though. Like I thought about the other day, it's been like literally like the worst and best year of my life.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Like that's
Sometimes that's how it
wild.
happens.
That's life, baby.
Yep. Them's the breaks.
Them's the
That's how the
breaks.
cookie crumbles.
Them's the brakes and the gas.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna have our whole month schedule out on Instagram. Also, I didn't say this at the top, but if you don't watch on YouTube, go check it out. We have a new camera set up, so it looks a lot better. I hope this is the first time doing it, so hopefully it's still recording. But yeah, we're gonna keep doing that. We're gonna have more TikToks and Reels and all that, and we're gonna keep things going.
Tom's gonna do all that work, and then he's gonna have to bug me the night before he puts out the episode for me to write like 3 sentences.
Yes, correct.
Which, guess what? I did before he asked me last time.
Great. All right, so that was Miss Congeniality, and next week is To Be Determined.
That's not the title.
We will have that. Yeah, maybe I'll edit it into this if we figure it out, or I'll just put it up on Instagram. So, yeah, we will see you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.